when the ancient giants rose again. In Greek mythology, the Titans were not mere gods. They were primordial forces, born before Zeus, Poseidon, or Hades ever drew breath. They once ruled the cosmos, shook the heavens with their raw power, and dared to wage war against the Olympians in a cataclysm known as the Titanomachy. They lost. They were defeated. They were chained and cast into the abyss. But in God of War, Kratos reopens that ancient chapter, not out of mercy, but driven by rage. So we ask, were the Titans truly the last rebels of a forgotten era, rising once more for freedom? Or were they simply pawns, tools grasped by a vengeful hand, only to fall again into ruin? In this series, we'll explore who were the major Titans that appeared in God of War, what bonds, or betrayals, tied them to Kratos and the Olympian gods. Did they fight for justice, or were they deceived? And ultimately, was their downfall fate, or the price of compromise? Gaia, mother of the Titans, and the flame that reignited rebellion. Gaia, the primordial mother of myth. In ancient Greek mythology, Gaia was not a goddess. She was elemental, one of the first to be born from chaos itself. She was the earth incarnate, the mother of the sky, Uranus, the womb from which the Titans were born, the root of all life. And it was she who first whispered to the Titans, "No ruler reigns forever, not even the sky." It was Gaia who helped Cronos overthrow Uranus, planting the seeds of a future rebellion, the Titanomachy, when Cronos' own son, Zeus, would one day repeat the cycle of father versus child. Gaia in God of War, when a mother becomes the ally of vengeance. In God of War 2, when Zeus betrays and kills Kratos, it is Gaia who saves him. She reaches into the depths, catches his fading soul, and speaks a promise like thunder. Zeus is a treacherous son, but you, Kratos, are the instrument of his punishment. She guides Kratos back through time, leads him to the Sisters of Fate, and sparks a second Titanomachy, but this time, not for Titan freedom. This time, to bring Olympus crashing down. Gaia, mother or master manipulator. At first glance, Gaia is nurturing, protective, a symbol of life itself. But through her actions, a darker truth emerges. She did not love Kratos. She did not save him out of kindness. She saved him because he was a weapon, the only one capable of destroying the gods. And in God of War 3, when Gaia and Kratos ascend Mount Olympus together, Zeus strikes them both down. As Kratos dangles, he pleads for her help. Gaia looks down and coldly says, "You were a pawn, and your role is over." In that moment, Kratos understands. Titans betray just like the gods. Gaia's end, when Mother Earth becomes a tomb. Later, during Kratos' final battle with Zeus, Gaia returns. Not to make peace, but to continue her mad quest for revenge. She swallows both Zeus and Kratos into her chest, a chilling symbol. The earth consuming both god and man alike. But Kratos, now trusting no one, pierces Gaia's massive heart from within, killing both Titan and God in a single stroke. Gaia, Earth Mother, foundation of the cosmos, the spark of not one but two great overthrows in myth, is split in two by the very man she once saved. Gaia, icon of rebellion or pride in disguise. The question lingers, was Gaia truly trying to restore balance, to deliver justice to the fallen Titans? Or was she simply a mother who couldn't accept the passing of her age, clinging to hatred, willing to burn the world just to feel powerful again? In God of War, Gaia is not just a character. She is the dying voice of an ancient world, fighting against a new order, even if it means sacrificing everything. Cronos, the child eater, bound beneath the weight of his own body. Cronos in myth, creator of a golden age, and the one who ended it. Cronos was the king of the Titans, son of Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. He was the one who rose up against his father, wielding a sickle of iron, and brought forth the golden age, a time when humanity knew no war, no hunger, no death. But as soon as he seized the throne, Cronos became haunted by the same fate he once delivered. He heard a prophecy: one of your children will overthrow you, just as you overthrew your father. Terrified, Cronos devoured each child the moment they were born. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. All but Zeus, who was hidden by Rhea, replaced by a swaddled stone. Years later, Zeus returned. He forced Cronos to vomit up his siblings, and together they sparked the Titanomachy, a 10-year war that shattered the old order. Cronos was defeated, chained forever in Tartarus, and myth said his story ended there. But it didn't. Cronos in God of War, the shackled giant and the hatred that never died. At the end of God of War 2, Kratos is betrayed by Gaia and cast into the abyss, Tartarus, the deepest pit of the underworld. There he finds Cronos, no longer a Titan king, no longer the wielder of the golden sickle. Cronos is now a massive, tormented beast, shackled in eternal darkness, alone for centuries. And on his back rests the Temple of Pandora, the same temple from the very first God of War, a giant imprisoned within his own flesh. They say souls can be chained, but Cronos is imprisoned in body as well as spirit. His size is no longer glory, it's punishment. His body, once a symbol of power, is now a living prison. He despises Kratos, because Kratos destroyed Pandora's temple, leading Zeus to curse Cronos even further. To Cronos, Kratos is the death of the last Titan dream, but also the only one who might end this nightmare. The battle with Cronos, a warrior ascends the living mountain. In God of War 3, Kratos faces Cronos. It is not just a fight, it's a mythological siege. Kratos climbs the Titan's vast, moving body, dodging fingers the size of towers, enduring slams that crack the very world. It's a battle where a man defies a god. With the blades of exile, Kratos slices through Titan flesh, ripping open the scars where the temple once stood. When Cronos swallows him whole, as he once swallowed his children, Kratos tears through his guts from within. And then, with the blade of Olympus, he drives steel through Cronos' forehead, ending the Titan who was once a king. Cronos, a symbol of power consumed by its own fear. Cronos is not a monster. He is a tragedy, the embodiment of power corrupted by fear, a father who devoured his own children to preserve a crown. But in the end, he wasn't destroyed by gods. He was undone by his own terror and selfishness. In God of War, Cronos does not die as a Titan. He dies as a broken father, clutching at the past, with bloodstained hands. Hyperion, the ancient light devoured by the darkness of vengeance. Hyperion in myth, father of light and the rising sun. Hyperion was one of the 12 original Titans, son of Gaia, the earth, and Uranus, the sky. His name means the one who dwells above. Before the sun had a chariot, before Helios was crowned with flame, it was Hyperion who embodied the sky's first light, the sacred radiance of dawn before the gods were born. He was the father of Helios, sun, Selene, moon, and Eos, dawn. Through him, all celestial light was born. Unlike Cronos or Atlas, Hyperion did not lead wars or carry the weight of the heavens. He stood for order, for cosmic balance. He was not a sword, he was the cycle. But like all Titans, Hyperion fell during the Titanomachy, and he was cast down, swallowed by Tartarus, along with the rest of the old world. Hyperion in God of War, nothing left but a name. In the God of War saga, Hyperion does not appear in flesh. He has no voice, no battle, no death scene, but his name lingers, like an echo fading in a ruined temple. Hyperion Gate, Hyperion Armor, Hyperion Grapple, relics of a forgotten Titan, once mighty, now reduced to forgotten inscriptions. And when Kratos tears the head from Helios, Hyperion's final light is snuffed out, not with a war cry, but with silence. The death of Helios, when blood severs the bloodline of light. Kratos does not kill Helios in honor. He rips the god's head from his shoulders, takes it, uses it, not as a symbol, but as a tool. No longer the sacred flame of the sun, now just a lantern, dragged through blood and ruin. In that moment, Hyperion's entire lineage is extinguished. From that point forward, no god of light returns. No titan of radiance rises. In the world of God of War, light is no longer divine. It is replaced by rage, shadow, and fire. Hyperion, a symbol of oblivion. In this universe, Hyperion is not forgotten because he was weak. He is forgotten because he stood for order. And this world belongs to chaos. Light did not die in a glorious battle. It faded quietly, because no one needed it anymore. Kratos did not ask for the light to guide him. He forged his own path, through ruin. And so, the Titan of Light, Hyperion, dies not with a scream, but with silence. Was Hyperion truly killed? We don't know. But perhaps he died long ago. The moment his last sun was turned into a flashlight. The death of Helios, and the oblivion of Hyperion, is a warning to any who believe mythology is immortal. Nothing endures in the hands of vengeance. Not gods, not titans, not even light. Atlas, the giant who holds the sky, and the tragedy of a titan with no way out. Atlas in myth, a monument to eternal captivity. In Greek mythology, Atlas was one of the mighty titans who fought in the 10-year war known as the Titanomachy, a battle between the old gods of the earth and the rising powers of Olympus. When the titans were defeated, Zeus handed out punishments. But none were as cruel as Atlas's. He was condemned to stand forever, bearing the weight of the sky on his shoulders. Not the earth, as many mistakenly believe, but the heavens themselves. It wasn't about strength. It was about humiliation. Zeus wanted Atlas to stand and never fall, to spend eternity watching the throne he could never claim. And so, Atlas became a living monument, a symbol of suffering, of loneliness without end, of a titan who once dared to challenge the heavens, but was now forced to hold them up. Atlas in God of War, from ancient prisoner to reluctant ally. Atlas appears most vividly in God of War, Chains of Olympus, and God of War 2. In Chains of Olympus, Kratos meets Atlas deep beneath the earth, chained in the dark, abandoned for millennia. At first, Atlas sees Kratos as a tool of the gods, an enemy. But when chaos erupts and the sun itself begins to fall from the sky, the two must work together. Atlas agrees, reluctantly, not out of trust, but because he knows, if the sun falls forever, it will be the sky that collapses, and it will crush him first. In God of War 2, the mountain moves, but the pain remains. By God of War 2, Atlas appears again, a colossal, towering being still bearing the sky's weight. But this time, Gaia has called upon him as part of the Titans' uprising. When Kratos seeks him out, asking for the strength to lift the blade of Olympus, Atlas speaks with cold clarity. You were once my enemy, and you still are. But if your war can free me from this burden, then take my power and be gone. Atlas's fists are the size of mountains. The power he grants Kratos shakes the very earth. But his eyes never leave the heavens, not out of reverence, but because he has no choice. He holds the sky not for love, but because there is nowhere else to go. The symbol of Atlas, not strength, but the cost of it. Atlas does not scream. He does not rebel. He does not kill. He simply stands, enduring, in silence. Kratos, destroyer of gods and symbols, does not kill Atlas, because even he understands. Some punishments are worse than death. Atlas, guardian of balance, or pawn in a divine game. Atlas is not a villain, nor is he a hero. He is a prisoner of history, a casualty of his own choices, and a victim of gods who never forgive. Kratos can kill gods. He can burn temples. He can silence monsters. But no one can kill Atlas, because Atlas died long ago, and all that remains is a body, bearing the weight of a world he once dreamed of ruling. When giants were no longer big enough to change their fate. From Gaia, the great mother who lit the first spark of rebellion, to Cronos, who devoured his own children in fear of losing his throne. Hyperion, a silent light swallowed by darkness. And Atlas, the titan who bore the sky, only to be crushed by the weight of destiny. They all reveal one truth. In the universe of God of War, no one is truly all-powerful. There are only those who struggle to stay standing amidst the chaos. Kratos passed through them like a storm. But once, they too were storms. Titans of a bygone era, an age now buried. But its echoes still whisper through the earth, beneath layers of stone, dust, and faded glory. And so, a question remains. Was there ever a titan strong enough to resist manipulation? Or were they all pawns in a divine game far beyond their reach? We'll continue that answer in part 2, with the remaining titans, like Prometheus, who stole fire for humanity, and Epimetheus, the symbol of delay and regret. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed deep dives into mythology, games, and the tragedies of fate, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. so you won't miss what's coming next. See you in The Titans of God of War, Part 2, The Bearers of Fire, Hope, and Doom. Subscribe now, because many truths have yet to be told.